The world was stunned. In a move that few saw coming, China sent shockwaves through the global energy market with a single announcement that would change the course of international trade and diplomacy overnight. The Chinese government, in a highly publicized press conference, declared that it would immediately halt the export of oil to several key trading partners. Specifically, China announced it would stop exporting 1.6 million tons of oil, a quantity significant enough to disrupt the delicate balance of supply and demand in the region. This move came without much warning or explanation, catching governments and businesses off guard. Japan and South Korea, two of Asia's largest and most energy-dependent economies, are now feeling the heat from this sudden and dramatic change. Their leaders are already scrambling to respond, holding emergency meetings and consulting with energy experts to assess the potential fallout. Oil is the lifeblood of modern economies, and any disruption can have far-reaching consequences. It powers factories that produce everything from electronics to automobiles, keeps cars and ships moving across continents and oceans, and generates the electricity that lights up cities and homes. When that lifeblood is suddenly cut off, the effects are immediate and serious. Ships are left waiting offshore, gas stations run dry, and factories risk grinding to a halt, threatening jobs and economic stability. People and businesses depend on a steady, reliable flow of oil to keep daily life running smoothly. From the morning commute to the production lines that drive exports, oil is woven into the fabric of society. China's decision has set off alarm bells not just in Asia, but around the world. The news dominated headlines with urgent updates flashing across television screens and digital news tickers in major cities. Energy markets reacted instantly and dramatically. Oil prices surged as traders and investors worried about tighter supplies and the possibility of further disruptions. The uncertainty sent shockwaves through stock markets, affecting everything from airline stocks to manufacturing giants. In this essay, we'll take a closer look at why China took such a bold and unexpected action, what it means for Japan and South Korea, two nations heavily reliant on imported energy, and how these countries might cope with the unfolding crisis. We'll also explore the broader implications for global energy security and international relations. Let's start by examining the possible reasons behind China's bold move and what it could signal for the future of energy politics in East Asia and beyond. China's leaders said the export halt was necessary due to domestic needs. A long, hot summer has pushed up energy demand across China. Factories and homes are using more electricity than ever before. Hydroelectric dams are running low due to drought, making China more reliant on oil. Leaders in Beijing want to make sure their own people have enough energy. They worry that if too much oil leaves the country, Chinese cities could face power shortages. So, they made the tough call to keep more oil at home, even if it upsets trading partners. There are also hints of political motives. Some experts believe China wants to send a signal to its neighbors. By controlling oil flows, Beijing can remind other countries how much they depend on Chinese exports. This gives China more power in regional negotiations. Whatever the reason, the decision was not made lightly. The consequences are already being felt well beyond China's borders. 1.6 million tons of oil is a huge amount, but what does that really look like? It's a number so big it's hard to picture. To put it in perspective, imagine row after row of enormous oil storage tanks, each one filled to the brim with thick black crude oil. That's the kind of scale we're talking about, enough oil to fill entire industrial complexes. To understand it, think about a large oil tanker ship, the giants of the sea that transport oil across the globe. These ships are some of the largest moving objects ever built by humans, stretching longer than football fields and towering above the waterline. One of these supertankers can carry about 300,000 tons of oil at a time. That's enough to fill thousands of Olympic-sized swimming pools with crude oil in a single journey. So, when we talk about a stoppage of 1.6 million tons, it's like holding back more than 5 fully loaded supertankers. Imagine 5 of these colossal ships, each packed to capacity, just sitting idle, unable to deliver their precious cargo. For countries like Japan and South Korea, oil is the lifeblood of their economies. Each nation needs millions of tons of oil every single month to keep their cities lit, their factories running, and their transportation moving. Without a steady flow, everything from electricity to manufacturing can grind to a halt. Losing 1.6 million tons in a short period means both countries have to scramble to fill the gap. Energy companies rush to find alternative suppliers, traders work overtime, and governments enter emergency meetings to prevent shortages. That much oil could power a city of several million people for an entire month. Think of every light, every car, every factory machine, all running on the energy from that oil. Without it, cities could face blackouts, public transport could stall, and industries could slow down. It is not easy to replace such a large supply overnight. Oil isn't just sitting around waiting to be picked up. Every barrel is already spoken for, and storage tanks can quickly run dry if new shipments don't arrive. Oil contracts are signed months or even years in advance. These deals lock in prices and quantities, making it difficult to suddenly buy more when there's a crisis. Finding new sources takes time and money. Companies must negotiate with new partners, arrange shipping, and sometimes even modify their refineries to handle different types of crude oil. Many refineries are set up for specific types of oil, so switching sources isn't always simple. It can require technical adjustments, retraining staff, and even temporary shutdowns, all of which add to the challenge. This is why the sudden halt has created such a sense of urgency. Newsrooms buzz with updates. Government officials hold emergency sessions, and the public grows anxious about rising prices and possible shortages. Now, Japan and South Korea are both asking the same urgent question: where will we get our next shipment? The search for new oil supplies has become a race against time, with the stability of entire economies hanging in the balance. Japan is one of the world's biggest importers of oil. It does not have many natural resources and relies on imports to power its economy. Oil is used for everything from cars and buses to heating homes and fueling power plants. When China stopped exporting oil, Japanese officials called emergency meetings. They checked stockpiles and asked companies to save energy. Some factories are already planning to slow production or switch to backup fuels, like natural gas or coal. Everyday life could also change for Japanese people. If prices go up, families may pay more to fill up their cars or heat their homes. The government is urging people to turn off lights and conserve energy wherever possible. Japan has been through energy crises before, like after the 2011 earthquake, but losing such a big chunk of oil so suddenly is a new kind of challenge. It puts Japan's recovery and growth at risk. South Korea is also deeply dependent on oil imports. Its big cities and high-tech industries use vast amounts of energy every day. Oil powers factories, transports goods, and keeps the lights on in millions of homes. The Chinese oil stoppage has caught South Korea off guard. Government officials are already negotiating with other suppliers in the Middle East and Southeast Asia. Some oil companies are warning of possible shortages if the crisis drags on. South Korean drivers have noticed rising gas prices at the pump. Some bus companies are passing those costs on to customers, making daily commutes more expensive. Airlines are also feeling the pinch as jet fuel prices climb. If the situation continues, South Korea could see rolling blackouts or energy rationing. This would hurt not just families, but also the country's exports and economic growth. When a country does not have enough oil, the effects ripple across society, touching nearly every aspect of daily life. Oil is not just fuel for cars and trucks, it powers factories, heats homes, and keeps the lights on in cities both large and small. When supplies run low, the consequences can be felt everywhere, from the busiest city streets to the quietest rural towns. The first and most obvious result is higher prices. As oil becomes scarce, the cost of gasoline and diesel at the pump starts to climb, sometimes dramatically. People notice the change almost immediately, as filling up their vehicles becomes more expensive with each passing day. Gas stations raise prices as they compete for limited supply. Long lines can form as drivers rush to fill their tanks before prices rise even further, or before stations run out of fuel altogether. The sense of urgency grows, and tempers can flare as frustration builds. This makes it more expensive for people to drive to work or travel. Commuters may have to cut back on trips, carpool, or turn to public transportation if they can. For many families, the rising cost of fuel means making tough choices about where to spend their money. Factories may have to slow down or shut down completely. Without enough oil to power machines or transport goods, production grinds to a halt. Workers may be sent home, unsure of when, or if, they will return to their jobs. This can lead to shortages of goods, lost jobs, and slower economic growth. Supermarket shelves may empty as deliveries are delayed, and businesses struggle to keep up with demand. Unemployment rises, and the entire economy can begin to stall. In the worst cases, power cuts can hit homes and businesses. Electricity generation often relies on oil, and when there isn't enough, rolling blackouts can leave neighborhoods in the dark for hours or even days. Hospitals, schools, and public services all feel the pressure. Emergency rooms may have to rely on backup generators, while students try to learn in dimly lit classrooms. Essential services become harder to provide, and the most vulnerable members of society are often hit the hardest. During past oil crises, countries have seen lines at gas stations and heated debates over rationing. People remember waiting for hours just to buy a few liters of fuel, and newspapers fill with stories about shortages and government responses. People worry about how to get to work or keep their homes warm. Public transportation becomes crowded, and families may have to bundle up indoors as heating oil runs low. Everyday routines are disrupted, and uncertainty becomes a part of life. Governments sometimes step in to control prices or limit how much fuel each person can buy. Officials may hold press conferences to explain new rules, and police or military may be called in to enforce rationing at gas stations. These measures can help, but they also remind everyone of how serious the situation has become. The longer the shortage lasts, the bigger the risks. Businesses may close, streets grow quieter, and the sense of crisis deepens. Communities must find new ways to adapt, but not everyone can cope with the changes. Small problems can quickly become national crises, affecting everyone from factory workers to school children. The impact of an oil shortage is far-reaching, touching every corner of society and reminding us just how much we depend on this vital resource. Both Japan and South Korea are moving quickly to keep their economies running. Governments have released oil from emergency reserves to make up for the lost Chinese shipments. They are also reaching out to other oil-producing countries to sign new deals. Officials are urging companies to use energy wisely. Some factories are shifting work hours to avoid peak demand. Others are investing in backup generators or alternative fuels. Both countries are also asking citizens to conserve energy by turning down heat or air conditioning. Leaders are talking with allies in the United States, Australia, and Europe. They hope to find new partners who can help fill the gap left by China. Some experts say this crisis could speed up plans to move away from oil entirely. Despite these efforts, it will take time to recover from such a big shock. Both countries know they must act fast, but there are no easy answers. One option is to speed up the switch to renewable energy. Solar, wind, and nuclear power can help reduce dependence on imported oil. Both Japan and South Korea have already started building more green energy projects, but these take years to finish. Another idea is to set up joint oil reserves with neighboring countries. This would spread the risk and make it easier to handle future shortages. Some experts also suggest building more pipelines or new shipping routes to bring in oil from other parts of the world. Companies are exploring ways to make factories and cars more efficient. Using less energy overall would help cushion the impact of sudden supply shocks. Governments may also offer incentives for people to buy electric cars or improve home insulation. Every solution has trade-offs, but this crisis is forcing Japan and South Korea to rethink how they power their future. The sudden stop of 1.6 million tons of Chinese oil is a wake-up call. It shows how closely connected the world's energy markets really are. Japan and South Korea are learning tough lessons about the risks of depending on one major supplier. In the short term, both countries will face higher prices and possible shortages. People may need to change their habits, at least for a while. Governments will look for new deals and press for more energy savings. Looking further ahead, this crisis could speed up the move toward cleaner, more reliable energy sources. It may also push Asian countries to work together more closely on energy security. No one wants to be caught off guard again. The world will be watching closely to see how Japan, South Korea, and China handle this crisis. The decisions made today will shape the region's energy future for years to come. Pause 2s. The shockwaves from this energy crisis are not limited to Asia. As oil prices surge and supply chains falter, the world economy feels the strain. Stock footage of busy ports, fluctuating stock markets, and crowded city streets highlight the mounting pressure. Major manufacturing hubs in Europe and North America brace for increased costs, while developing nations worry about fuel shortages and inflation. Economists warn that prolonged instability could slow global growth, disrupt trade, and deepen inequality. Governments and industries everywhere are forced to reassess their energy strategies, seeking greater resilience and diversification. The world is reminded that in today's interconnected markets, a crisis in one region can quickly become everyone's problem. The coming months will test the strength and adaptability of the global economy like never before. Sapper, Repo, Pause, 1s. While the challenges are daunting, humanity's response to crisis has always been marked by innovation and adaptability. Looking ahead, experts envision a range of possible futures. Some see a rapid acceleration toward renewable energy, with solar panels and wind turbines spreading across landscapes and city skylines. Others highlight breakthroughs in battery technology and green hydrogen as game changers for global energy security. Visuals shift to bustling research labs, engineers installing solar arrays, and communities embracing energy-saving solutions. International cooperation, once strained, now shows signs of renewed purpose as countries share technology and expertise. Grassroots movements and local entrepreneurs drive change from the ground up, making clean energy more accessible and affordable. Pause 1s. Though uncertainty remains, the crisis could become a turning point, a catalyst for a more resilient, sustainable and equitable world. As the world learns from past mistakes, hope grows that together, we can build a future where energy is clean, reliable, and within reach for all. As the oil stoppage sends shockwaves across the globe, governments in East Asia move quickly to contain the fallout. In Japan, officials address the nation in a televised broadcast, assuring citizens that emergency fuel reserves are being deployed to critical sectors like hospitals and public transportation. Visuals show government press conferences, fuel trucks on highways, and lines forming at gas stations. Meanwhile, South Korea's leadership convenes an emergency cabinet meeting, unveiling a package of immediate measures. These include fuel rationing, temporary subsidies for public transit, and accelerated investments in alternative energy sources. Government statements emphasize unity and calm, urging the public to conserve energy and avoid panic buying. Analysts note the contrasting communication styles. Japan projects quiet resolve, while Korea adopts a more proactive tone, outlining clear steps and timelines. Both governments also open diplomatic channels, seeking new fuel agreements with regional partners and the broader international community. These swift political responses highlight the urgency of the crisis and the crucial role of leadership in navigating turbulent times. Behind the scenes, policymakers race against the clock, balancing public reassurance with the sobering realities of a rapidly shifting energy landscape. As the immediate crisis subsides, leaders across East Asia are forced to confront a pivotal question. How will today's shock reshape tomorrow's energy landscape? Experts warn that reliance on imported oil is no longer sustainable. In Japan, analysts predict a dramatic acceleration of investments in renewable energy, solar, wind, and even next-generation nuclear technology. Policy think tanks highlight government initiatives to modernize the national grid and incentivize energy efficiency at every level, from industry to households. South Korea, meanwhile, outlines plans for a green transformation, with bold targets for hydrogen infrastructure and electric mobility. Experts suggest that public-private partnerships will play a vital role, as tech companies and automakers join forces to innovate. Across both nations, there is a growing consensus. The path forward demands resilience, diversification, and regional cooperation. Visual display animated graphs of projected energy mixes, interviews with energy policy experts, and glimpses of futuristic green cities. While the transition will not be easy, commentators agree that this crisis marks a turning point. Over the next decade, East Asia may emerge as a global leader in clean energy, turning adversity into opportunity and forging a more sustainable future for generations to come.